This year we're celebrating 25 years of UKNOAH working successfully for the interests of our members in the animal health industry and for both the companion animal and food chain industry as a whole. In this, our Silver Jubilee year, we're reflecting back on some of our milestone achievements, such as the launch of the UKNOAH Compendium, our work on medicines registration, and the part we played in introducing the POM VPS category, which has made such a difference to the way our industry operates.
In the last 25 years that UKNOAH has been going, I think there are so many examples of successes in animal health medicines development. Obviously, it's difficult to focus in on one or two for this discussion, but I guess the ones that maybe stand out for me are in terms of antiparasitic drugs. We had in the 80s the development, the discovery of the avermectins, which transformed parasite diseases because you have these molecules that were able to control external and internal parasites. But following on from that, industries continue to invest and innovate to find new delivery systems, to broaden the spectrum of new products, and also to discover new molecules. We've had two, I think, in the last 12 months, new antiparasitic drugs come onto the market, new chemical entities. And this is so important in veterinary medicine because parasitic diseases are a huge problem for us. I think the other area where there has to be a recognition of some significant successes is in biologicals, vaccines. Biotechnology has transformed the development of vaccines, and we've got a regulatory environment that encourages and endorses biotechnology in veterinary medicine, and we've seen a lot of new vaccines come to really control some exceptionally difficult diseases, and will continue to do so. I think one other specific case I'd like to mention that I think was a major success story in biologicals is the control of blue tongue in the last few years. There we had this BTV8, the virus that was spreading through Europe. We knew it was heading towards us, and industry responded very well, and in a very short time. They made the investment, they committed to developing vaccines to fight off this disease, and with a good policy program in place, developed jointly with the profession, with the veterinary profession and the authorities in DEFRA, there was a campaign that really worked very well. And it was amazing the time and the commitment that industry made to get those vaccines developed and registered in a very short time frame. And I think it was amazing, really. If you look back now, the UK was the only country in Europe that, having had this scourge of BTV8 coming through in 2007. In the UK, we had no outbreak, as far as I'm aware, we had no outbreaks in 2008. That's a huge success story.
Whilst we're happy to reflect on past achievements, we also have to look ahead to the issues that continue to matter for our industry. The regulations system for animal medicines that operates across the European Union, whilst being necessary and effective, is also highly complex. It is also costly due to some inefficiencies and additional burdens which, whilst being important to human medicines, are not appropriate or necessary for animal medicines. Equally, the residue studies required for medicines intended for animals are not relevant for human medicines. Therefore, the current system places burdens on the administrative authorities and the industry itself, and it delays the turnaround of useful animal medicines reaching the market, impacting on animal health and welfare and businesses alike. We at UKNOAH and our colleagues in IFA Europe think it is time for a single market for veterinary medicines in Europe. A single market with a single dossier, a single scientific assessment and a single decision to license. This idea has become known as the 111 concept.
The 111 concept within Europe has to be a good idea. We, as farmers, as pharmaceutical manufacturers, as vets, the whole industry are now part of Europe. So if we can tidy it up within the concept of Europe, it's got to be a positive way forward.
Well, we've had a single market when it comes to regulatory systems for food in Europe on all sorts of aspects since the early 1990s. So a move to a single regulatory system for veterinary medicines in the European Union seems very sensible. Really, consumers aren't bothered with the detail of regulation. What they are really interested in is knowing that regulators are rigorous and robust in all that they do. And of course, simplification doesn't mean that this is going to be any less rigorous, and they'll be able to have real confidence that the measures that we take in veterinary medicines will be broadly similar to those that we already have in food law right across Europe.
Potentially, I think it has great chance of ensuring safety. Clearly, a large market and a use of a particular product over a larger market does mean that if the central reporting, and that is a really important point, that where there are reactions that occur to a product, they must be recorded. The chance then of perhaps dealing with that issue early, spotting it early, ensuring that it occurs in the first place is going to be vital, but it could be an improvement.
Again, there is a great perception within the farming community that certain countries have advantages over others at the present time. We're not certain what products are used in other countries. Withdrawal periods can be different for certain medicines. And also there is the issue of cost. Again, there is a perception within our membership that in certain countries products may be cheaper than they are in the UK. So again, if we can get a transparent, harmonised system, well then everyone knows where they stand. And secondly, can I also make the point, again, it's so important to have this harmonised system. There's discussions taking place at the moment around the Mercosur, European Union talks, trade talks. And again, it could make life easier for the Mercosur countries, the South American countries, to import red meat and white meat into the European Union. But again, if we get a house in order, then it is so important that standards and welfare in the Mercosur countries will be equal to the European Union.
Yes, I think the 111 concept is perhaps the way for the future. I think one dossier and one assessment by the best experts available, and then one authorization issued. I think it's a win all the way around, really. From what we've just been hearing, the benefits of making the 111 concept a reality are enormous for all of those involved in animal health. At the moment, we're concerned with spreading knowledge about the 111 concept, because the more our members and other stakeholders know about these benefits, the better. We will welcome their support when the time comes for us to lobby the various European institutions and bring the regulation of animal medicines into a single market. Now with UKNOAH in its 25th year, we hope that a true single market in Europe becomes a reality for animal medicines registration in the very near future.